so freaking hot. Like I can't
I'm
believe how hot I
hang
got.
on. I got to get my hour. Hang on. I got to get my hour. You guys do this at work?
Dude, I do it at work.
Yeah, I get my hour.
I'm gonna try to run on Sunday.
I'll run every morning, but I can't. Like,
I'm gonna try to hit the big distance. Like I'll probably give up after 4 miles, but I'm so out of shape. Like I'm so scared about marathon right now, Mike.
I'm so scared about the Chicago Marathon because I haven't run past 13.
At least you're like
I'm confident I can get to about 18, and then after 18, all bets are off.
You'll be fine.
I think I will. I'll see.
Dude.
But the thing is, like, I don't have any Disney like to get me through. It's gonna be one of those things like.
You'll be fine, dude. There's gonna be so many spectators, though. I feel like that'll just be pumping you. It's gonna be like the TTC, like constant.
Nobody that comes out though. I mean, what if there's not? What if I'm just
running
to a city that I'm not a big fan of?
There will be.
I might wear my Molina jersey just so people like scream at me. You know, I'm just like when you're like an opposing ball player, people hate you. Like they.
Who do you want though? Like I was just thinking, I was looking at the standings, like because the Giants haven't like clinched yet. Like that's still a race. Like
I don't want
the Giants or the Dodgers in that playoff.
Okay,
game?
so if we get the Dodgers, you know we're facing Scherzer.
Yeah, you're
so
done.
I don't want any of Scherzer, dude. I don't want that. I'll take
one of those teams is like not. It's just crazy. Like one of those teams could miss the playoffs due to St. Louis.
We're gonna beat whatever team that is, and they're gonna end up finishing the regular season like 15 games ahead of us.
They both have 100 wins.
Yeah, exactly. That is just wrong.
I think the Giants have 102, the Dodgers have right at 100.
Because our team set the major league record. Remember that this year that we walked in the most players in the history of Major League Baseball. Like we could not throw a strike in June. This team was terrible. Like historically bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the Cardinals.
You finally got your run differential in the positive.
Finally, exactly.
It took a 16-game winning streak to do it. But...
We were terrible. God, I was so mad. I mean, this team took so many days off my life this summer.
It is like the 06. They're gonna end up making some stupid run because, like, I'm still bitter about 06. But
I know, but we're making this run just a little bit too early. You know what I'm saying? There's no way this can sustain.
Yeah, that's true. That's the good thing me and my brother talked about because we can't stay in the Cardinals.
I know. Shout out Jared Diamond, who's listens to our show, who I texted. He texts me all the time. He writes for the Wall Street Journal. He's their baseball beat writer, and he's always like, Cardinals are never gonna lose again. I'm like, yes.
No, Jared, he's a good follow on Twitter too.
He is. That's what he keeps. He keeps writing his articles. He's like, the Padres melted down, and the Cardinals will never lose again. And
I remember Jared back in the WDW Today days. Like he was always like calling in or chatting with those guys. Like,
He had twins, by the way, twin babies, and he put them in like little Minnesota jerseys. They're so cute. Anyway, hey, Tanja, it's Vol week again. You're gonna beat us. I'm not even playing, so I'm just going. Bama's gonna beat Ole Miss. So,
oh jeez, I can't even No comment. No comment on the shirt. I might not get invited back.
Roll Tide. I'm saving. He's the best. Ashley, thank you. I got that cruise book for you right before we did the show, right there. So she's heading out on the Magic to Dover in Europe. How about that? I wish I was.
Wow.
Man, if I could only travel with my clients, I'd be living the life. But I just sit here and do podcasts. That's fun.
Yeah, I agree with Wade, man. Just do it. Just do it.
I'm totally. If the weather's right, I may. But I don't want to regret it at like mile 6. Like this was a great idea when I was sitting at home in the air conditioning, and then.
But the Cardinals' run will be over by then, Wade, though, because they would have already been knocked out of the playoff game.
That would be.
No, the run will be over by then.
Oh my God! Because we just 4-game sweep at Wrigley, and if we say we sweep them again this week here down because of the last 3 games at Busch, and then we were on a run still next weekend. In a couple weeks.
I'm saying when Chicago Marathon, the Cardinal season better be over by then.
I've thought about it. I have Mizzou sneakers that are still in the box. I have not even taken out of the box yet that I'm running the race in, which I thought was a great idea when I ordered them, but now we're 2-2, so who cares? But I'm using those for marathon weekend, wine and dine in Chicago. They're Nikes, but they're supposed to be running sneakers, so we'll see. Who cares? Okay, let's questions. We need questions in the live chat, by the way. We have a couple in the inbox that are relative. I got my hair cut for the weekend.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing after this.
I did yesterday. So
it's getting kind of long, yo.
Nice. I got a pedicure, so
Dude, I'm not doing one of those this time.
No,
I haven't had one in ages.
I only do those for cruises usually.
Got it. Yeah. That's smart.
I only have like 8 toenails. I get a discount. So actually, I have 6 right now to think about because I never have them on my little toes. And
I'm
then
gonna throw up.
the other ones.
Stop! I'm gonna throw up.
Dude, when you run as much,
I know. I'm still gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up.
Like Pam would be walking through the living room. Like, what's that? I'm like, what? Oh, that's my third toe. No.
Gross.
If people don't tune in early,
I'm gonna answer James' question right now. It's not.
It's not. It's not. Yeah.
We all said same time.
Yeah.
It's not.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Okay. Let me turn off the sound here and. All right, let's do this. We need for real questions. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
1973, the year I was born. Which was a good year. That thing.
Getting close to my year. You're 10 years away. 10 episodes away to my year.
He's 10 for mine too. Yeah.
Up on 2000.
But it's all about 83, not 70.
It is all about 83. Yes.
Both you guys are 83.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I think I'm just a little older than you, Scott, though.
Yeah,
right?
I'm a fall baby. You already had your birthday this year.
Did.
Mine's coming up.
Yeah. Not that much older than you, but I'm a little bit.
Jennifer's fault. Okay, here we go. Welcome to episode 1973 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Wednesday to you. Hope you are having a great week. And a lot of us are getting ready to head down to Walt Disney World here very soon. I know a lot of folks are traveling either today or tomorrow. So safe travels to everyone heading out on the old airplanes or hitting the old interstates down to Walt Disney World. We're going to have a great weekend celebrating 50 years of magic down at the Walt Disney World Resort. And if you're not headed down, we are going to give you all the coverage. So follow us on the social media. And I thought of something on my run this morning. We need a hashtag for all the pictures on Instagram and Twitter. So what we're going to use simply hashtag BOGP50. How about that? Hashtag BOGP50.
I like it.
This is for everybody.
Yes. Not just us.
Nope. It's going to be for anybody who posts a picture. Just throw that hashtag in there so we can all share all the festivities, all, in the BOGP community. So if you please, any pictures you take this weekend, put hashtag BOGP50 in the little comments there and the caption so we can check out what everybody is up to and share the magic all over the social media. But before we get to all the fun, we're here to answer your list of questions to get you amped up for the trip. Or if you're staying home, just to get you amped up for the coverage. So joining me today, she's from the mouseforless.com. We're going to see a lot of coverage for everything happening. Drop in. We have Ricky. She is
I'm here.
Walt Disney World.
I'm back and I'm going back again. Yeah.
Right. I mean, she was there, here, and going back. So what's up, Ricky? Welcome home, and you're going to be back today. So what's up?
Exactly. I'm leaving again today. So everything's good. Everything's real good. So I'm excited about this weekend. I've been waiting for it for 10 years. So I'm amped and I'm pumped and let's do this. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Yeah.
So you missed this on Sunday night. I showed a little show and tell session and you were there. Actually, if you look at the camera right now, bam. Park map from the last time we were together at an anniversary. This was from October 1st, 2011.
Oh my gosh. I still have my map too, actually. So it's somewhere. I know I have it. It's saved. So I assume we'll probably get a special park map for, the first as well. And maybe a button. I was thinking about that too, because we got a button too, I think.
Oh,
so,
wait, we got a button. Hang on. Let's see here.
I know I have a button.
Okay. I actually do a little show and tell. I have a button.
Yes.
Now, see, I'm from the Midwest. We say button. Now, if you're from the East Coast, I think you say button. Or I can't say it like people say it on Big Brother that are from the East Coast. They have a special way of saying button. Yeah, you think we'll get buttons?
I think we will. I'm assuming we probably will. Yeah.
We'll have to buy a button the way things
are going. Yeah.
$5.95 for a nice little souvenir button.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we'll see. Do you have it? I got to ask you this before I get to Scott.
Okay.
Do you have any special dress you're going to wear for the occasion?
You know what? I think I thought about that.
Because we're going to have to do fit checks. That was my thing this summer.
I got that. Yeah. I totally thought about that way too late. No, I don't have a special 50th dress. I did not buy the dress, that they're selling. I don't know that they have it, out yet, but I don't. I'm just gonna figure out a dress when I wake up in the morning and be like this one. So I did not come prepared. I failed on this one. So yeah.
Shocked, I tell you. All right. Well, joining us today, Pam is actually okay. Let me just give you a little behind the scenes. She did not want to be late for the festivities of the 50th anniversary. You know, it's always. I tell her I'd rather be I'd rather be an hour early than 10 minutes late. Pam took that philosophy and really ran with it. She's been there for 2 weeks. She didn't come home. She just wanted to be there. So she's already there, like in line for the match as we speak. So Scott's here. So we're going to have Scott Gardner here join us from up in the mitten. He's going to be heading down today as well. So what's up, Scott? You're heading down soon.
Hey, Mike. Happy to be here. You know, when I get a phone call and it's Coach Ramen on the other side and he asks you to come into the game, you say yes. So he's like, Scotty G, I need you in for Pam. Yes, sir. I'm there. So happy to be here on another Be Our Guest podcast episode. You know, you're talking about buttons. And I said this a few live episodes ago. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get a first visit button and write the first visit of my trip to Walt Disney World on it, which would be March 8th, 2011.
Nice. That's a good call. I like that idea. Yeah.
So is this okay? Let me get some clarification because I think we should all do that. You know, even if you have to get a couple of buttons, because this will kind of be a fun thing within our podcast community. And I know there's a lot of other communities doing meetups around the parks over the weekend, which is kind of cool because it reminds me of the old Mouse Fest days.
Yes.
I'm pulling out all my artifacts.
You are. Yes.
I get stuff ready for the trip here, baby. But you know, that's something we could do. So now let me get the ground rules here. So I went for a half a day. When I was passing through, would that count? Like when I went in 5th grade, when I was down just for spring training, I went just to the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
Didn't really do anything. Just kind of walked in. It rained, and I remember going to the hat shop.
No, that counts.
I would count that.
That counts.
I think I hat shop. Right, Space Mountain. I do. Isn't that weird? It's weird the stuff you remember. Like I remember being in the hat store in the Magic Kingdom. I remember I was scared to ride Space Mountain. Didn't ride that. I was in 5th grade, which I don't know why a 5th grader. If I had a kid that was a 5th grader and was scared to ride Space Mountain, I'd be like, come on, kid.
Don't worry. I was scared to ride Space Mountain when I was 16. So you're fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
I think I remember riding the cars, like the Tomorrowland Speedway. And see, I do remember riding the People Mover. So
there you go.
Yeah. I don't know. So I guess I'll have to figure out what that date was. It was sometime spring training in 80.
Just put the month. Just put like March 80, whatever month.
My mom's saying I was 2. She doesn't remember the date, but I mean, that would be 85 for me, I would assume. So, yeah. Okay. Yeah. All
right. So, Scott, real quick, and then we'll get to the questions. What are you sporting for the 50th anniversary? What are you? Who are you
sporting? I had friend of the show, Beth, actually pick me up one of those. The hats, you know, the Nike hat with the partner statue. Like it's a blue hat. Have you seen that, Mike?
I have not seen that.
Okay, it's slick. It's a Nike hat.
Is it new?
Kind of like ours, but it's blue and it has like the partner statue on it. I'm gonna sport that with a matching like a 50th anniversary Nike Dry Fit polo. That's what I'm rocking on the 50th.
I have no idea what I'm wearing. It'll be whatever's on the top of the suitcase, probably.
It better not be the shirt you have on today. That's all I'm saying.
What is that? That'll be Saturday. No, because Saturday I'll probably have something Mizzou on. Because that'll be
there we go. Yeah, wear the Mizzou, please.
Yeah, MIZ. Okay, so let's get to the questions of the day. The first one is from let's see here. It is Maurice, and she says, hey, Mike and crew. I have a very easy question for you guys today. I bought tickets for the new Cirque du Soleil show Drawn to Life in Disney Springs. The show is at 5:30 p.m. We would like to dine at Wine Bar George. Remind me, I have a question about that too. My question for you guys. I'd like to dine at Wine Bar George later that night. At what time would you book dinner? I have no idea of the duration of the show, but I think it should be. But do you think it'd be about the same as the show that was there before? Do you remember how long it was? Thoughts? We need to factor in time to exit the venue and walk over to the other half of the spring. So my guess will be to book around 7:30. Thanks for your help, Maurice. I don't know, Ricky, what do you think? What would you 7:30 sounds reasonable to me because the show's probably 90 minutes ish. And then
I was trying to see if I can find out how long the show is. I would say probably 90 minutes, or there may be an intermission, so I would give it maybe 2 hours.
Fancy.
I know, right? But you know,
in St. Louis we call that halftime, but
yeah. So I'm not really sure how long it's going to be, though.
I wrote down 8 o'clock as my answer, Mr. Rallman.
Okay, well there you go.
I'm going to so he's over. I'm going to
Yeah. I'm trying to see if it says anything. Yeah, I know that there's a second. A lot of times there is a second show, so I would assume the second show. Yeah, let's see. Nope, just 5:30 for most nights. So I'm not entirely sure how long the show is, though. I don't know if they've said anything. So
I just got a tip that it's 90 minutes.
90. Okay, cool. 90. So
there you go. I like that. That's nice.
That's nice.
So
yes.
There's your answer. So there's our answer to the question. Here's my follow-up about Wine Bar George. Never been there.
Me neither.
I think this is a poorly named restaurant. Scott, you've been there, right?
I've been there. Yep.
Everybody raves about it that's been there. I'm not like a wine guy. Like, I'm not even a beer guy. I don't like beer. I like margaritas. That's why I like the La Cava. You know, I'll drink margarita anywhere. Mexican, I'm in. Okay. But the thing is, the other day, I don't know what I was looking at. I was looking at the menu for some reason. I posted it. This place has biscuits and gravy.
Yes.
Did you know that, Scott? Dude, why is this place called Wine Bar George and it's hiding biscuits and gravy?
Because George is the wine guy.
Yeah.
If it said biscuits and gravy on the outside, people would be knocking the doors down. I'm just saying.
Not to get him confused with Paul, the wine guy from the pilot
correct.
episode of
You
Friends.
are correct.
This is George, the wine guy.
That is. I'm just saying.
Paul, the wine guy, is very different. Kind of a jerk.
I had no idea this place had biscuits and gravy. Or else
the menu is awesome. And Mike, it's not just wine. It's not just beer. You could get like a cocktail there too. Like I'm almost certain you can probably get a margarita there. I'm not 100% sure, but they have a great bar menu. But we went there for brunch and we got like the steak and fries thing. Like we had these like mac and cheese balls. Like it was an awesome meal. Highly recommend. And then I haven't done it, but like if you could sit outside too, like on a nice, cool, breezy day, like get that great view of Disney Springs from up top because they have like a elevated, like a second level
cool
patio. That would just be a great spot to be.
Yeah, I've seen that. That doesn't.
Now I want it. Now I want to book it for when we're down there. I don't have any plans to go to Disney Springs. All I'm doing is going to Magic Kingdom and Epcot this weekend and nowhere else.
Yeah, I know. It's yeah, that's true.
I totally right now.
Okay, so it is 90 minutes. I did find on the Cirque du Soleil website, by the way. So I just wanted to clarify that I did find it officially. It's 90 minutes.
Okay, so let me ask you a little follow-up on that. Remember the old, this is going to go with Friday show. We're giving our best memories from our trips over the last 50 years. Of course, none of us are 50 years old. I'm the closest. But we're going to talk about like our memories because it'll be the 50th anniversary when the Friday show releases. One of the in-room, I don't even think it was Stacy. I think it was actually before Stacy. I think it was Chris's top 7 video or whatever. But do you remember that Cirque du Soleil little section it had? And it had this music.
Yes, I know the music that you're talking about.
It was almost like haunting. That little piece of music. It was only like a 30-second little piece. Da, 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 da.
Yes.
I love that music. And I don't even know the name of the song. But now, like every time you say Cirque du Soleil, I think of that song. And that song is classic. I love that song.
That is true. I agree.
Totally
I do think of that song. I also think of that song when you think of Cirque du Soleil. It's not just you. So I think of that song too.
It just makes me think of Magical Mouse Radio.
Yeah, okay, I got it.
All the time because I loved it. That'd be good like walk-up music if I was like in the major leagues. I'd just walk up to that song for a couple months. Anyway, Alfred's got a question. At what time should I get to Epcot on October 2nd? Will it be as busy as the Magic Kingdom on the 1st? I would say, okay, what time is Epcot open on the 2nd? Is it by 11?
Probably
I thought it was 9. I thought
maybe you're right. Maybe they did bump it. I think you might be right.
Hours up.
I'm checking. So you're right. They may have bumped it.
Ricky's like the statistician today.
I know. This is totally my job. Totally the statistician. October 1st, Epcot says 11.
Really?
Wait. I lied. I clicked on the wrong date. 9.
Okay, so I was right.
Yeah.
That's so much better. My brain hurts with Epcot opening at 11. I can't do that.
I kind of like it though. Sometimes it forces you to like slow down in the morning. I know you don't want to.
I know you don't want to either, but I love that. I love the 11 o'clock opening. But yeah, it looks like it changes on the 1st to the 9.
I'm not saying I don't like, because you're right, Scott. It doesn't. It forces you to chill. Like if you're going to Epcot that day, it like forces you into like, oh, we can get a nice.
You know what the best hack was, Mike? Is like we did this like the summer of 2020 when we like lived down there for a month. When on our Epcot day, we would go play mini golf.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Like it was, and it would be like nobody there. You'd have the course to yourself. You weren't missing out on anything because your park passes for Epcot. You couldn't park. You couldn't
Yeah.
park hop or anything. It was perfect. Or
That's
you go
great
for a
fun.
swim in the morning. It was. I like it. But
Yeah.
So his question is though, opening at 9:00. So he's, I believe, staying at Pop Century. So I would say to hop the Skyliner. I mean, it depends if you want to be there on the second of. I mean, what's the advantage to being there
I
at
don't know
Rope Drop on
because
October?
Ratatouille is going to be virtual.
It is
Yeah.
So there's no advantage in park advantage. I feel like there. So I would just
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of stroll in when you're ready.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, because I think the advantage is everyone see Harmonious, but I mean that's not till the evening. There's no, as long as you're there, you're there. Ricky, talk to us real quick though about the Ratatouille Virtual Cue, because is there any differences there? Disney has announced kind of how that's going to work.
Yeah, it's going to be very similar to what it was for Rise of the Resistance. So I believe it's the 7 a.m. drop and then the 1 a.m. drop when you're in the park.
PM.
1 a.m.
1 p.m.
Holy
Yeah, 1
cow.
p.m. Yeah, 1 p.m. Sorry, my bad. And it's gonna work the same way. Now probably like the first few weeks or so, it'll be a little hard to get, I suspect. But after that, I think it'll calm down a little bit. Ratatouille, it moves really fast. So I will say, because I experienced it on this last trip, Ratatouille, like the line moves really fast. So I'm gonna say that hopefully it will have a better virtual queue experience for people, and people will be able to get into the virtual queue a lot easier than they were for Rise. So that's my hope.
Here's a shocking thing but
I don't think that'll be on the second. I think that'll still be difficult. So
and I agree. I think that Ratatouille is going to be a people eater. I mean, just because the type of attraction it is, I think it should be very reliable. It should be way more reliable than Rise, just because of the kind of attraction.
Oh yeah.
It's not as complex, and it's just one of those. It's not an omni mover, but it's going to keep people moving in and out. Here's the thing, though. Are you shocked at how many people can get through? Like how it seems like almost Rise of the Resistance has been like a people eater.
If it works
it's
correctly,
amazing to me how many people are going through.
Shocking what happens when you don't have a virtual queue. Also, when the ride actually operates, the way it's supposed to. But I mean, again, I'm very happy that they got rid of the virtual queue for Rise. I know a lot of people are upset because they had their hack for getting in and everything like that. But as someone who had a lot of trouble getting a boarding pass for Rise of the Resistance for one reason or another, I am very happy that people can choose to wait in line. The line does not seem to be as long as everybody had expected it to be. I mean, people were thinking it was going to be as long as 3-4 hours, and it really wasn't, except for that first day, which makes sense. I mean, the beginning of the morning, that morning, everybody showed up because everybody thought, oh, this is going to be crazy. But it seemed to have leveled out. It's, maybe an hour or so I've seen, at the most, which again, I think I was really weird because I had posted, like, everybody's like, oh, I'm so mad I'm not going to get to walk on to Rise. And I'm like, I never got to walk on to Rise, even with the virtual queue. I always had a very long wait for Rise of the Resistance. I waited probably 60 minutes every single time. So I must be the weirdo because I always waited 60 minutes with the virtual queue. So maybe I'm just different, but I rode it like 4 times and waited like 60 minutes each time.
I was about 50-50 on that.
I never walked onto it.
Most times I waited probably an hour.
Never walked onto it. So when everybody's like, yeah, I walked right on, and I'm like, did I experience a different attraction than everybody else? Because I never walked right on. So I don't know.
I got a question about this weekend, because I think this weekend, at first I was thinking it's going to be the test, right, for Rise and the standby thing, because you're going to have larger crowds. But then I'm wondering, okay, I'm not going to the studios. Scott, you're not going to the studios. Ricky, are you going to the studios this weekend? No.
I may have one day where I have a reservation of the studios. Maybe, but who knows? I may change my mind.
I know. Okay, Scott, let me ask you though. Okay, this weekend is really an outlier, right? Because I think there's a lot of and again, I use this term endearingly. I consider myself one. I consider us all one because we are Disney nerds. We love this stuff. Mm-hmm. We're there for a very specific reason this weekend. How many people do you think are only going down for, say, like from like a Thursday to like Sunday?
Yes.
They're excluding, especially Animal Kingdom. I mean, unless I mean, how many people are coming down to see the kites? Not me.
I mean,
I'll see that sometime, but probably not.
See
I'm definitely not seeing it this weekend. Okay, I can see a kite over at the park. I'm just saying, like, I'm not excited.
Michael.
I'm just saying, dude, I cannot get excited about the kites. Maybe they're awesome. I don't know. I'm not getting okay later. But I mean, Scott, how do you maybe people aren't even gonna go to the studios? Is this really, because for me it's Magic Kingdom Epcot. That's my focus. But what do you think is the focus for most people this week?
I think that's the focus for most people. So it's funny that I actually had a studios day planned, but I changed it to Epcot because the Harmonia is starting earlier now. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny, like all these late announcements have changed a lot of my plans because like it's just chaos to me. You know,
that's a little
it's
frustrating too. I mean,
it's weird to think that I'm going to be down there for 5 nights and I'm not going to step into the studios and get a Starbucks and listen to like the old Hollywood music background loop. Those are like 2 of my favorite things to do in a Walt Disney World vacation. And I'm not going to do it because of the 50th anniversary. Like, why am I changing like my normal routine and plans? Like, it's kind of crazy to think, but I think most people are going to be like us on, you know, Mike, Ricky, Pam, everyone, you know, they're going to be spending 90% of their time at Epcot and Magic Kingdom.
Well, see, and that's the thing too with the fireworks. Like, this is a trip that is focused on seeing the nighttime spectacular. And so otherwise I would say, oh, I'll go to the Magic Kingdom and really get a good fix. Maybe, you know, go catch lunch at you know, Captain Cook's or something, then hop over to the studios for the evening. Cause I love the studios at night. It's just pretty.
I do too.
You know, I would do that. But the thing is, like, that defeats the purpose because I want to see Enchantment and, you know, I want to see Harmonious. Like, and I hopefully I'll see one or both of them multiple times. And that's the goal. So it's going to keep me out of the studios at night, but I also probably want to be in these parks in the morning too, just to kind of see what's going on. So it's a weird trip because again, I think a lot of us are going down. The runners are going down for Wine and Dine, which is at this point only 3 to 4 weeks out.
Well,
about 4 weeks.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
about a month by the time we get home. So by then, I think I will want to go to the studios, and for Tanja, I will go to the Animal Kingdom and see the kites because I know she wants me to. So I will go.
I know. I just got to figure out when. That's the hard part. When can we fit in kites?
I know. I have to get a shirt, like a kites fan club.
Right.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay. Another question from the inbox from Madeline. She's in OHIO. She says, Mike and BOGP crew, we're going to the world in November and have always wanted to see the Grand Floridian Gingerbread House. I know last year they did not do the Gingerbread House. Are they bringing it back this year? Love the podcast. Thanks for all you do, Madeline. Rookie, what are you hearing? Are we having gingerbread this year?
I'm hearing that the gingerbread house will be returning. So that's good news. Yeah, I know everybody missed it last year. So it's nice to see that it's back for the holiday season.
Nice. Yeah. Okay, and I want to read this one. This one is from listener Colleen, and it's kind of a quick little mini trip report because she gave some great feedback. It's just a few paragraphs here, and I thought this would be good feedback for folks heading down soon. So she gave this to me, and I want to read it out. So she says, hey, Mike, it's been over a month since we went on our anniversary trip. And I feel bad since I have an email, but she says she's adjusting to her first in-person school year for a while, which I get for all the teachers. She said she went down on August 8th, had no issues getting to Disney, but Magical Express was probably the longest way to the trip. Lyft would have been better, but in the end, they got to Epcot in only a half hour later than they had planned. Epcot was on that Sunday, and it was very easy. They got all the rides they wanted to. Soarin' was the first ride. We even got to ride in the middle section, and that was perfect. Food and Wine was such a pleasure to do without kids. The Flavors from Fire Booth was a home run.
Yep.
Epcot Forever was lightly attended, so it was comfortable to stay and watch that. We last saw it the first night in 2019 when it debuted. Caribbean beach rooms were smaller than I remembered, but perfect size for us. And we got one of the Aruba buildings close to the Skyliner, so it was perfect. Thanks for helping with that. The Riviera was also closer in person than I envisioned, so that was great. We had coffee there one day and also had breakfast there too, which was delicious and different. Our first full day on Monday was the day that helped us seal the success of the rest of our brief trip because we got our boarding group at 7 a.m. Because of that, it was easier to plan and find time for other things. I tested the cell signal and speed and found a sweet spot between our building and the beach on the sidewalk that goes to the Skyliner. Boarding group 21. Even though I had to tap my bottom more times than I should have, I don't know what that means. I still got a low number. Go figure. Hopefully we don't have to do the boarding groups like that again next year. Seems they're changing the process nowadays. There you go. Wish granted. We rope dropped Hollywood Studios, and it was surprisingly easy from Caribbean Beach. We waited in the Skyliner line for a few minutes before it began loading. And in the end, even though we weren't first on the Skyliner or through security, we still managed to be in the front of the pack for Slinky Dog. I got on the second train. It made a huge difference as far as being efficient with touring the park. Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway was wonderful. What a delight. We did it twice during our trip and saw different parts of the storyline each time. Then, of course, Rise of the Resistance was spectacular, and it operated without a hitch for us. We loved it so much, I can't wait to do it again with our kids. We got to enjoy Epcot food and wine some more at the end of our Hollywood Studios day, and upon returning to the Riviera Skyliner station, we discovered that you could see Epcot Forever fireworks well from there, and also could see the Magic Kingdom fireworks in the distance from Hannah Cabanas. We took the morning a bit slower on Tuesday, ate breakfast at the Riv quick service. I love that. Did a couple more things at Hollywood Studios, and we used Lyft to get to Disney Springs for a lunch at Wine Bar George, which was fantastic. I see a theme here.
Yep.
The food, the food went above and beyond my expectations. I heard good things, and it held up to the hype. One of the highlights of the day was also the fact that Gideon's Bake Shop didn't have a virtual queue. There was just a 15-minute standby line. We bought 4 cookies, and the peanut butter cold brew also exceeded my expectations and is definitely my favorite iced coffee drink ever. We used the Aruba pool that afternoon for a quick cool down. I'm so grateful for those quiet pools. The day before, we took one ride down the slide in the feature pool, and then that was enough for us because there were so many kids around in the feature pool. Tuesday night was the first Boo Bash. We got to the Magic Kingdom early and rode a couple of rides, took some daylight photos, and had a couple of snacks. The Kakamora float from Aloha Isle was also one of those snacks that lived up to the hype. For Happily Ever After, we watched from Tomorrowland under the People Mover near Tomorrowland Terrace because, again, we didn't want to risk being in the tight crowds, keeping our kids at home safe. I knew it would be a special vantage point because Tinkerbell flew right over us to her landing spot. I'm so glad we got to see that show in person one last time. So she just gave some feedback. I thought that was cool because we'll feedback on Caribbean Beach, getting around. She makes a good point, though, about when you stay at Caribbean Beach, that you can take advantage of the Riviera. And until I stayed there, I thought, oh, yeah, they're sister resorts, so they are relatively close. I mean, especially if you're staying in Aruba or really if you're staying in any of the buildings, but Aruba, I'm trying to think, Jamaica's actually, Aruba's closer, but Aruba and Martinique is on the other side of the lake. And what's that other, it's Jamaica's the yellow ones. Aruba's the pink ones. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Trinidad, I think. No, Trinidad's the Caribbean.
Barbados?
Yeah, maybe. I'm trying to think of the ones that are the actual closest to the Riviera Skyliner station. But you are so close to the Riviera. I mean, I eat breakfast every morning at the Riv. That's how close it was. It was just as close as walking to the food court at Caribbean Beach. And the food's better over at the Riv. So good feedback from Colleen. So I thought that was it was nice of her just to give some feedback there. And the Boo Bash, God, I'm so jealous. And again, Wine Bar George getting all these rave reviews.
Yes. There you go. I got to try it too.
We have a question. When is Coco going to get into
Philhar Magic? Yeah, I was really surprised because I thought that they were going to add it, for the first or around the first, and no, that did not happen. So they are actually adding it on November 17th. Wait, nope, wrong. November 12th. Wait, did Disney change the date? I feel like they might have changed the date. Yeah, so it will debut on November 12th. So
boom, there you go.
Boom.
I think they did initially say that was going to be earlier than the first, and I think they pushed it back because I did see, because they sent us in the travel agent, we get like a press release kind of thing, and it was like probably 6 weeks ago. They sent us something. It was coming out like within a couple weeks. And I think they pushed it back. So
yeah. Well, it debuted at Disneyland early on, and so that that may be a part of it too. So.
Okay, Tanja's got a question. This is a good one for all of us heading down this week. What is the best strategy for mobile orders in the Magic Kingdom on Friday? I've just ordered my corn dog nuggets right now. No, just kidding.
Right? Exactly. Right now.
How far out can you place an order? My thought, this is Tanja's, my thought is to place all of our orders first thing in the morning and adjust cancel if we get a table service at the last minute. I just don't want to get caught starving. I like the way you think because everybody on this panel right here has been around Hangry Mike. Nobody wants to be around Hangry Mike. I'm just saying it's not a pretty thing because I run every morning and I get hangry fast. And I like my little diagram is like slow off a cliff and I get mad. So Scott, you use mobile order. You are a mobile order expert. So what would you offer? What do you think?
I definitely like the strategy. She's like, what's the best strategy? It's just the hope. Just hope you can get in, get something.
Yeah, exactly.
Like my strategy would be like, I'm not going to be specific. I'm just going to find something that has a good time. And I'm going to, as long as I don't have like any dietary restrictions, I'm going to make that counter service place work. But yeah, definitely order well ahead of time and just be patient. Like, don't think you're going to order at 12 and get something at 12:15. You know, just know, I love what Tanya's doing here. She's definitely on the right track for prepping, getting ahead of times. Good luck on the last minute table service though. Like I check constantly. I'm lucky I have something that day from Marlessa was able to get something for us at Crystal Palace, but like I keep checking constantly like to see if anything else comes up and no. So definitely good luck with the table service, but I love your strategy for mobile ordering.
Dude, I got the plaza today. No, I'm just kidding.
That's like the hardest.
I was gonna say
that's like one of the hardest places to get. There's like 5
so
tables.
lying. So lying.
I could tear up some meatloaf, but I didn't
yes.
No. I don't know, Ricky. So I would. I mean, obviously, we've learned this over the years, right? The early bird. I mean, this is what you're talking kindergarten, right? The early bird gets the worm. Yeah. At this point, the early mobile order person gets the burger and the nuggets. That's how it's going to be on Friday. So just get it in and cancel.
I don't know how canceling works. Like, do you get refunded? Like, if you have like all these orders, like
I think you do. Yeah, because I think I've seen when I placed an order this week, I thought I saw that it said your credit card won't get charged until you click like prepare.
Yeah. I don't know. I've had some issues with it where we actually had to go talk to a cast member because
you don't want to do that on Friday.
No, you don't.
No.
Yeah,
so I would almost suggest like try to commit to that meal at least, like, and don't go like place like 7 or 8 mobile orders and like try to pick your best one when the time comes. But
yeah.
Okay,
I hate to get you like charged a whole bunch of meals.
Let's come up with this real quick though. Okay. You just mentioned something like this is not a good day to be picky, like looking for the perfect meal.
Right.
No, it's not.
This is a day to just get some nourishment at some point, right? Okay. I mean, we all want to we're Walt Disney World. We want to get our favorite things. I'm not saying you shouldn't. Is there some place? Okay. Where's like a hidden gem in the Magic Kingdom where you could get something decent, but like everybody's going to be going for Casey's, right? Because I mean, that's on Main Street. And I know we're kind of blowing up our own spot here.
I know we are.
But I mean, globally, not everybody's listening to this show, just the tens of thousands that download our show. Ricky, give like one hidden place where you might get something decent.
I have 2, but I don't know if the one will be open, and it will have a long line anyway. And the first one is the egg roll cart.
They'll have a super long line.
Yeah, it's gonna have a super long line.
They don't have mobile ordering, unfortunately.
They don't have mobile order.
Exactly. That'll be crazy because who gets the egg rolls? The people that are there for the 50th.
Exactly. Which is why that line's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, that line will be to the train station.
But I did have another option. So I was thinking of Sunshine Tree Terrace because right now they have things like pot stickers and stuff like that you can grab too. So, and that does not have mobile order, I don't believe. So that was an option that I was thinking of because
Sunshine Tree Terrace has food. See,
they have some pot stickers because I saw it when I walked past this past week. Like they definitely have pot stickers. Let me see. I know that they have something else. Let me look real quick. I feel like I am just doing all the research today. So let's see here. They also have they just have fried pot stickers. So and then of course they have the citrus swirl and all that, but they are fried pork and vegetable pot stickers with an orange sesame ginger sauce for $6.99, which is not bad.
Keeps you nourished.
Yeah.
My go-to would be because you can now mobile order Sleepy Hollow.
You can.
That's
Yes.
kind of a sleeper because you can get a little protein, a little sweet with that sweet and sour chicken waffle.
Yep.
Portable. It's almost a handwich.
Yeah.
Just saying, if
Not a
you're
handwich.
starving, centrally located in the park. That's something if you're in a pinch. Scott, what about you? Because I think like Columbia Harbor House, Cosmic Rays,
Oh, all of those are gonna be nuts.
those things are gonna be nut houses.
So my go-to, Mike, is leave the Magic Kingdom.
Yeah.
Mobile order Gasparilla, take the boat over to the Grand Floridian. That's
Yeah.
my go-to.
Yeah. Or Captain Cook's or
Just leave the chaos, have a nice, comfortable meal in the air conditioning, take a boat ride, then come back. If you have your park pass, I feel like they're gonna let you back.
Yeah.
So that's actually what I would do. But
here's my advice, though, because I've been getting this from guests the last few days, and just this would make me feel better. And this is what I'm going to do personally. And I am going to leave the park on Friday. I mean, I'm planning to. Before I actually walk out of the park, I'm going to go up to a cast member and just ask them and say, look, I am leaving the park to go over to the Contemporary or to go over to the Polynesian to get some lunch. Obviously, I have a theme park reservation because I'm in the park today, because I'm on this side of the touch points right now talking to you. Can you confirm that I will get back in this park later on tonight? Because, and again, I probably wouldn't want to wait until 8. I'll probably come back in the park, say 5, because you know that everybody's going to attempt to hop into that park later on, right? Because is that not?
I mean, I don't know. I think it really is going to split between, Disney Enchantment and Harmonious. I really do think it's going to split.
You don't think most people are going to try to hop into the Magic Kingdom? I mean, yeah.
I think most people will, because I think a lot of people would have already seen Harmonious like the 2 days before.
Well, that's true.
Right.
That's true.
This would be the only one that's fresh on the first.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think that could be. Yeah, that's the only thing. Like,
it's the first time I think we're going to see Park Hopper not actually get declined since COVID.
I think too. Yeah, I think this is the first time that Park Hopper will close. So I would just confirm. That way, at least you can say, and I mean, it's not like you're going to be like, Bob told me, but the way I have understood, again, this would be unprecedented. This would be the first time, but the way I've understood it is with a theme park reservation, you can leave the park and go back into that park the same day. That's the way I've read it. This has never been challenged because we've never had a park close for park hopping since COVID restart.
Right.
So don't come at me, bro. I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. So I would ask a cast member because they know better.
I know that it's risky. That's why if I were to leave, I would leave kind of earlier in the day,
right?
To make sure I have that buffer, like come back like around 2 even or 3. Just make sure that that you have ample time to get back in and get your spot for the show. What do you think? There's a question for you, Mike and Ricky. When do you think people are going to start lining up for this show? What time is it at? Like 9:45 or 9? Enchantment. I can't remember what time it kicks off.
People will be sitting in the hub grass at 3:00.
I think earlier.
At least.
I think earlier.
People will be definitely having lunch in the hub grass.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think noon. Yeah, at the you'll definitely see people actually. I think you'll see people starting at 9 in the morning. To be perfectly honest, so yeah, I think that's
the thing. Here's the thing. People will camp out in the hub grass 2, 3, whatever time, some crazy time, hours and hours and hours before the show. But somebody could still walk up at 8:30 and stand in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just it's etiquette. And I mean, that doesn't guarantee you're going to have a spot. I mean, because a cast member could just push in a crowd and boom, your 10 hours is, on the toilet.
This happened to me last weekend at a college football game. I waited an hour to see the marching band go by to get into the stadium, sitting on a curb, and then right as they're pulling up, 10 families just cut right off in front of me. I was like, oh, it's like I'm back at Disney again.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh man, I know it angers you. You got to.
It happens everywhere. It's not even just Walt Disney World.
It's one of those things. Am I going to camp out at 2:00? No, because the thing is, it's too risky. I mean, I would if I waited 8 hours in the sun, and it's supposed to be almost 90 on Saturday or Friday. I mean, it's not worth it, because the thing is, it's going to be, for one thing, it's going to be a show that I see time and time again. Yes, it's going to be special on Friday, but I'll see it again. And if I have to see it from Main Street instead of the hub, or if I see it from, like Scott said, maybe Town Square is the place to see the show because you see kind of more of a a wide view of the show. Maybe it's even better. Maybe it's better to not be in the hub, or maybe you see it off center a little bit. You know what? Who cares? You're still at the Magic Kingdom. You're there on the 50th. It's fine. I don't have to have the perfect view. So I'm not going to give up my whole day to have a perfect spot. That's a risk.
It is.
It's a risk.
It is.
A risk. Anyway. All right, last question of the day, and I missed this one earlier. It's from Laura. Appreciate her being here. She has a question for next year. My family will be going to Walt Disney World next June to celebrate my son's high school graduation and her 50th birthday. Question, will the tours like Keys to the Kingdom be coming back? My brother and I did the tour back in 2019 and loved it. I would like to have my husband and son experience this tour. Thanks. I would hope this tour, especially Keys to the Kingdom, I think this is the very first tour everybody should do, and I think it's the best. And I'll be honest, I told Mallory when she turns, this was before COVID, I said, when you turn 14, I am taking you on this tour because it is awesome. So you can see the utilidors, you can really you can see what Walt Disney World's all about, because she's been there so many times and seen all the on-stage stuff that I think she would really appreciate seeing, what it takes to put all this together, because she's at that point where we've talked about it. We've done the podcast. She's, she knows kind of how things go. And yeah, I just think that it's cool for people like us, again, the collective family of the podcast, to kind of see what it takes to do what Disney does. And I would think, again, this was one that was a huge value too. It was only about, I recall, like $75 and you got lunch. I mean, it was a good deal. I shouldn't say that too loud. It was a decent deal. And I actually, I've done it twice. I loved it. So Scott, would you say this is probably high on the list to come back, or what do you think?
I think it's high on the list to come back. It's something I haven't even thought about, right? We're like, oh, when are the tours going to come back? Like, it seemed like we have all had like this list, like Run Disney, fireworks, like we like keep going down, and tours is one I keep forgetting about. But I would say by the time that celebration comes around, and granted, like we don't know, we don't have a crystal ball. There's no way for us to know, but I would feel pretty confident, as of like October 2021, that those will come back in June of next year. And congratulations on the big celebrations. That's going to be a really fun trip.
No, right. No kidding. That'll be an awesome trip. And yeah, if I had to put odds on it, I would give it at least, I would say probably 80% that'll be back by next summer. Because again, it's a revenue generating proposition. And so I think those things like Run Disney came back because that is a very high revenue generating proposition, and it came back. They were aggressive on that. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm so excited. It's still on a month out. We shouldn't do that. The dog will wake up. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's a great tour. And I think you'll have and Michelle says the tours will be back. Disney's been hiring several plaids to lead them. And she has,
there we go. Breaking news right here.
She has connections down there, I believe, from what I know. So there you go. There you go. You heard it here first. So they got plenty of time to train. All right. Well, hey, that's going to do it for today's show. Thanks for hanging out with us. And we're going to be back again on Friday. It's kind of a special day. So as you're possibly waiting 12 hours sitting on some hub grass, we can hang out with you for 45 minutes talking Disney. It'd be kind of fun. And you might even see us walking around the Magic Kingdom. How weird would that be? Listen.
What if someone listens to like an entire like year's worth of Be Our Guest podcast episodes while they wait?
That would be a lot.
Like on super fast mode.
Yeah, like 3 times speed. That'd be sweet. But we will be there on Friday. So as the show comes out on Friday, we're going to be in the Magic Kingdom on Saturday. We'll be at Epcot Sunday. Who knows? It's kind of a wild card day. We'll be around. But come up and say hey. But I hope you enjoyed today's show. Don't forget, you can email questions to the show to mike@beourguestpodcast.com. You can join us on Mondays as we record, usually around 5:45 Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all of your Disney trip planning needs. We'd love to help you out with your next Disney vacation. Check them out today over at themagicforless.com. Please also use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. That one extra clip does mean a lot to us. Did I say clip? It's a click. Please click through. It takes you to the exact same Amazon. It's one extra affiliate click, no problem. beourguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And thank you to our patrons who have allowed us to expand the show over the last couple of years. We've had more downloads in the last 2 years than we've ever had. And it's because of your support. And our patrons get Mike in the Midwest every Thursday as well. If you'd like to get in on that, just visit patreon.com/beourguestpodcast. Again, this weekend, hashtag BOGP50. Hashtag your pictures, please. Follow that hashtag if you're at home. We're going to be having a good time. Follow me at BeOurGuestMike. Follow Ricky at Ricky Nibs and at The Mouse for Less. Follow Scott at @Scott and at Palm Trees of Disney. And of course, Facebook and YouTube. Search for the Be Our Guest podcast. Content will be there as well. All right, we're going to be back again on Friday with a show to get you ready for the 50th. We're going to be talking about our favorite memories from Walt Disney World as we celebrate 50 years. So until then, for Ricky and Scott, I'm Mike, wishing you a great Wednesday. But it's time to get back to work, or in Ricky and Scott's case, get on a plane or get on 75 South.
Mm-hmm.
Or me, just get back to work until tomorrow. We'll see you real soon. Save as episode. Oh, I kept it. EPI 973. I hear Oliver.
Yeah, I was tapping and I got them all. Got them going.
Riley.
The girls aren't here, so like when he has to be like really protective when no one else is in the when
Oh,
only
I
one
get
person's in the house.
Tough guy. Tough guy.
Yeah, he looks like a tough guy.
Yeah.
Beautiful dress, Ricky Niblet.
Where? Oh, today? Thank you.
Yeah, the one you're wearing.
What I'm wearing? Thank you. I like this one.
That one, right?
Yeah, that one.
I can
This
never
one.
point. I always point the wrong way.
I like this dress
Yeah.
too. Mm.
So let's talk about some of our fun stuff we've done for 50 years. Okay, here we go. Let's knock this out and eat some Taco Bell. 1975. Welcome to episode 1975 of the Be Our Guest Walt Disney World Trip Planning Podcast. I'm your host, Mike Rallman from BeOurGuestPodcast.com and one of the senior agents over at the Magic for Less Travel. Happy Friday to you and happy birthday to the Magic Kingdom. That's right, you are 50 years old today. Not
And
listening-
technically, it's Epcot's birthday too.
It is Epcot's birthday, but who cares? It's the Magic Kingdom's 50th birthday. We'll give some love to Epcot next year.
Yes.
And again, I got to say this. Shout out to Dr. Kai, who already has his Epcot birthday trip on the books.
I love it.
He didn't even wait till the Magic Kingdom turned 50. He's like, I got to take care of Epcot because I know it's coming. Because he's
I like his strategy because it's going to be a Saturday, so that's going to work out really nice for me too.
Love it. So yes, we are excited. We are all down at Walt Disney World celebrating 50 magical years of the Walt Disney World Resort. We're going to talk about just memories. I mean, I think that's really what this weekend is all about. Friends, attractions, shows. And I've been asking people for the last 6 months that have come on all the Monday podcasts, if you could bring back something from the past, you know, from all of your trips, what would you bring back? What is special to you? Why are you a Disney fan? That's kind of what we're going to talk about today. We're going to just kind of reminisce and talk about what maybe stuff that we never got to experience that we wish we could have. We're just going to go down memory lane and talk about why Walt Disney World is still so special. 50 years ago, October 1st, 2021, we made, and I'll tell you what, over the last 20 months or so, 18, 20 months, little touch and go there. We thought it was on cruise control in 2019. Yeah, we're just glad to be here for 50 years at this point. So a lot of room to celebrate here. So let's get the folks introduced here. We're going to have a fun show with you today, and say hi to us if you're down at the parks. We have Ricky. She's here from the mouseforless.com and hanging out at the Magic Kingdom somewhere right now. I'm guessing right now she's probably, if I had to guess where she is in the Magic Kingdom right now, she is she's in line for the Haunted Mansion. I don't know.
Ooh.
That'd be a good.
That's a good guess. You know, I mean, I definitely want to experience a lot of the attractions that were open on opening day, and the Haunted Mansion is one of them. So that would be pretty good. That would be a pretty good guess of where you might find me. I think it's a good guess. So good call, Mike Rollman. Good call.
Do you have any merch that you're going after today? Like, is there anything that you've seen that you really want to make sure, besides, you know, like a biscuit that's going to go in your purse, like some official
Exactly.
anniversary merch that you want?
Exactly. No, yeah, besides pocket biscuits, I think, you know, there is one thing that I do want. I don't know if I'll get it today. And I keep forgetting to go to World of Disney to go pick it up, and I don't know that I'll have time to do it this trip either. But I really want the soap dispensers that they have that have the shape of Mickey Like, I really want one of those. So I know that that's not like I know they have a specific like one for the 50th, I think, but like it's not a specific like exactly 50th anniversary thing. But that's kind of what I'm eyeing. I really do want one of those soap dispensers.
It really doesn't count for a 50th anniversary merchandise thing, but I'll give you a pass because I'm in a festive mood today.
I mean, it's got the blue, you know, it's got the like
iridescent. Oh my god!
yeah, it's got the iridescence going. I don't know. It definitely is. They brought it out for the 50th, so that's I think it's a 50th
I
anniversary.
think you get in the Magic Kingdom.
I agree with Ricky. And
Thank you.
And I want one of those too.
I know, right?
I want to have it in every like guest bathroom in the house.
I do too. I at least want it in my like downstairs bathroom that I use all the time. So yeah, I have to figure out how to get one of those. And I just haven't been to World of Disney, which I know is like the most common place to find it, I think, of right now.
You know how my brain works. So the first time I saw that, you know, like I saw like a video, I can't remember who posted it, like, you know, where it comes out and it shows the Mickey head on your hand with the soap. I said that'd be the perfect thing to have like in a guest bathroom or, you know, like at your house, because say you have, you know, company over and they go in and they use the restroom and they come out and they don't say anything about the soap. Like, then you know, like they didn't wash their hands, because you know, like if somebody if they come in and say, man, that's cool soap, man, it was a Mickey right there in my hand. If they don't say a word about it, like go back.
Or they'll comment about like, oh my gosh, not this too. Like, so I have a great buddy. My buddy Jake that I golf with, this is pre-COVID, like we were doing like a regular like poker night at my house. And we have this big old like Walt, and we have not big, but we have a Old Key West print in the guest bathroom. Gotcha. And he goes in there, he's like, oh my God, you got Disney photos in your bathroom too? Like, where is there not any Disney in this house? So that would just be kind of fun for that too.
That's awesome.
You know, it's great. I always ask my boys, like, what color was the soap? And they were always like, go back in there, wash your hands. Get me sick.
You're funny.
Anyway, Scott Gardner joining us from up in the mitten. He is at Walt Disney World right now. I am imagining.
Yes. What am I doing, Mike?
If I had to guess.
Come on. You know what I'm doing. You know what I'm doing, Mike.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Maybe he is chilling, getting in line for the people mover. That'd be a good one to chill.
That'd be a good one. Okay, that's acceptable.
You got. This is a long day. I'm telling you.
It is a long day.
These days are about survival, to be honest.
It is, and I would make an exception for the people mover on this day. Yeah. Well, actually, no. The people mover opened in 71, didn't it? Or no?
Who cares? You got to survive on days.
That's acceptable. I was hoping that you'd say though that I'd have like a Mickey sandwich in my hand.
This is true.
Well, okay, here's today. Okay, because this is going to tie into today's topic. We're going to go back and talk about just things, and it could be anything. We're not talking about it could be an attraction, could be a promotion, could be a show, could be just a memory or an event that we attended. But one of the things, and we've talked about this on the show many times, Ricky, we've talked about it. Scott, we've talked about it. Going back to one of the planning videos from about probably 12, 13 years ago, the bench guy.
Yes.
Remember
love bench guy.
Yes, love bench guy.
I loved that planning video.
Yes, me too.
The teenage guy, and I wish this was back in the era of DVDs, man.
Yes.
You got the DVD and it was golden. You just watch that thing over and
over.
over.
I still have it and watch it. Yeah.
I used it. I used the audio on Magical Mouse Radio. And the thing was, like, you had the teen that was all about the extreme rides, right? And then you had like the old dude, but this guy was all about the benches. Like, man, he wanted to ride this bench and the Magic perfect bench. But I mean, the people mover, that's a moving bench, you know, like it's just a bench that moves with a breeze.
Yes,
like, oh my God.
What I loved about him, like, isn't there like a clip where like he wants to get a photo of himself? He's like, oh, I don't have a camera. Can you take it
I know.
for me?
Back in the day, I don't have a camera. Could you email that to me?
Oh my God.
Yes.
Bench guy was the best.
And what was his famous line?
You get in the photo.
You're in the photo.
That's right.
Yes.
God, I love that, man. That's okay. That's today's show. That's what we're talking about. This stuff that was amazingly awesome. You know, for our history isn't as long as Walt Disney World. None of us were alive when the park opened in 71. Of course, we've read books, we've listened to blogs and histories and all that. But I mean, everybody's got their own history. And I mean, ours is mostly probably 90s, 2000s, and so forth. I was there in the 80s for a half a day at the Magic Kingdom, but I don't remember a whole lot of it. I talked about on Wednesday about the hat shop. That's about it. And it rained. So I don't have a whole lot of history there. But Scott, let's start off with you. So as you look back, let's just kind of share like something that sticks out to remember here on the 50th anniversary of the Walt Disney World Resort. What sticks out for you?
Yeah. So I love this topic because I've been doing this on my Instagram handle
so
for like about the last 10 days. I've been doing a little countdown of my favorite Walt Disney World memories. And one of them I put out there, I got to being a Disney Vacation Club member. You get some cool perks. But one of my favorite memories was for their 25th anniversary. It was called like DVC 25, and they had this special party, and it was like it felt like an after hours event. It was before they even did after hours events. It was very limited capacity. They brought all these special characters out. They had all these ice cream novelties. They had like lemonade like set up everywhere. Like it was a party atmosphere. It was so cool. But they had the coolest fireworks show. I remember I was like live streaming it. It was around the time where it was like, is Wishes going away? Is there going to be a replacement? I remember you were commenting like, we just saw the new Wishes from Scott's iPhone right now. Like, it was super cool. I still have the video of that fireworks show, and sometimes I'll play it to Happily Ever After to see like if it flows it as well. But that was just a cool moment. I just love those experiences where you feel kind of special, you know. You almost felt like you had the park to yourself. And then I think I had 15 Mickey ice cream sandwiches that night too, so that helps too.
Because you sent me pictures of you with all the like, you know, like a deck of like a hand of cards, like you're playing cards, but instead of cards, it was, you know, ice cream sandwiches. It
Nice.
was like you were living your best life. But you did live stream those fireworks, and they were. I just remember at the time I was a huge Wishes fan, like we all were.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, they were so much like. It was almost like a New Year's Eve type of like illuminations. Like there were so many more pyrotechnics in that show. Yeah. There were so many more in the sky, and it was like, it felt like it was longer. I just thought like they're just previewing the next show. And then I don't think they ever used that show again.
They didn't, to my knowledge, unless they've done it for like private corporate events that they might do sometimes. But I've never seen similar footage to that show. And that makes it even more special, right? And so I would call that one of my top 10, one of my greatest hits, Mike.
So let me hit one of mine real quick, because mine's almost like yours. And this was back probably, and this was before Mallory was born. So she was born in 2008. So this was when it was just Pam Page and I, when we went down our first few times. So in the mid 2000s, we didn't know what was going on. Again, we just bought the Burn Bombs guide and did what it said, like in the hot tips. I mean, that was how everybody did it. You know, like, I mean, you had a few message boards. There was no Twitter. There was no social media. This was actually before iPhone. I mean, that's how crazy it was, right? So you just went down on like what you read in books, and you just did the best you could. So we're in the Magic Kingdom one night, just having a good old time. And again, we were both school teachers. That's all we did. So in the summer, we didn't have a job. Like it was, so I work every day of the year at this point, basically. But I mean, I have a great job, but I'm just saying, like, I don't have like 2.5 months of the year where I don't have to worry about a job, period. Like back then, when I walked out of school, and the teachers work over the summer, they do professional development. It's way different now than it was in the early 2000s. I get it. But I mean, when I walked out in May, like I didn't think about teaching until like middle of August. I did not. I mean, I was just like a kid. I was a total kid. So was my wife. So when we were in the Magic Kingdom in July, we were free as a bird. We did not care. So we'd have so much fun on these vacations. But I remember one night they put up this sign at the Magic Kingdom at like 8:00. And we were walking on Main Street. I think we were like going to the confectionery or something. So we're up by City Hall because we wanted something sweet. And it was like, get your tickets. It's E-Ride night. And I'm like, what's E-Ride night? I'm like, that sounds cool. It's like, it's $5 and you get 3 extra hours of just the e-ticket attractions. I'm like, $5, sign me up. You go to City Hall, you got one of those cheat. Now, remember how you used to get like for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party and stuff, you get a little wristband. This wasn't even like it didn't even have like a print on it. It was like one you got at like Spirit Halloween store, like Sam's or something. It was just like orange. Bam. They put it on you, and no kidding, for $5. And I am not, it might have been $7. It was definitely no more than $7. You got 3 extra hours. Now there's only like 8 attractions open. It was like Space, Thunder, Splash, Haunted Mansion, Pirates. It wasn't a lot of attractions. It was like 8. But I'm telling you what, man, there was nobody in the Magic Kingdom for 3 hours, and you just went on rides over. And it wasn't snacks or anything. If you ever want to feel like a rock star who owned the Magic Kingdom, I still, to this day, I was like, I can't believe we did that for $7.
Right. They charge you $100 per person easily now for that.
Oh, more than that. More than that.
It was crazy. That's one of the things I look back, I'm like, I mean, it felt, and again, I don't know, because it was so long ago. I mean, to me, it felt like somebody came up with this idea, like some cast member came up with this idea like at dinner, and they made a sign, and they're like, okay, we're gonna pop out a sign and see if we can get suckers for like $7 to stay 3 extra hours. Who wants to work? I mean, that's how it felt like.
And you're the reason why you were like the experiment, Mike, and they're like, oh, we can make this bigger.
Awesome. It was the best. And then we went back the next year and it didn't happen. I'm like, oh, take my money, I'll pay 20. It was so great. So it's one of those things, like, I think it happened. There's so many things like that with Disney, right? It happened in such a brief little period of time that people swear you're lying. And I'm telling you, it happened. It did.
E-Ride Night definitely was a thing. Yeah.
E-Ride Nights. Yeah, it was a thing, but it was brief, but it was awesome. So that's one of the things I will never forget. So Ricky, what about you? What's the memory for you?
So, of course, one of the biggest memories that I have some memories from being a kid, mostly because of their stories that my mom has told me over and over again. Not that I have like really strong memories of them, but I know she's told the stories over and over again, like how I was so afraid of going on Country Bear Jamboree, and I legit like made her leave, like while my mom and my dad and me were waiting, and I was like, I have to go to the bathroom because I didn't want to go in because I didn't want to see Country Bear Jamboree because I was terrified of the audio animatronics.
Biff is kind of scary.
Yeah, I was afraid of the audio animatronics. So my mom like legit like took me out to go to the bathroom. Then my dad went in to see the show, and then like my mom tried to get us back into the show, and they're like, no, we can't let you in because the show had already started. So like that's one of my mom's favorite stories to tell about, about going to the Magic Kingdom with little baby Ricky. I was probably about 4 at the time. So, I was terrified of the audio animatronics. I'd been terrified of audio animatronics since, so that was just a terrifying thing for me. But one of the memories that I have is when I really started to fall in love with Walt Disney World, because there was a long time when I was terrified and did not want to go. It's because of the Country Bear Jamboree. And of course, also in the same vein, it's because of Universe of Energy and the dinosaurs. This is why I'm afraid of dinosaurs. Because I was, again, the same age, and they took me on Universe of Energy, and I was terrified of the dinosaurs there. So,
those are such friendly dinosaurs. Though.
No, for me, no. I hid. Like, I did not want anything to do with them.
What was scary on that attraction was the Ellen animatronic.
Well, that didn't exist when I went. Ellen didn't exist. I went on the original version of Universe of Energy. Like, I went on the original version.
Okay, I'm just saying.
So, anyway, in 2003, it was when I really started to like get over a lot of the fear that I had. And I was on Disney message boards at the time. I was learning as much as I could about the parks, because that was when like my thirst and knowledge was like, I gotta learn as much as I can, because like you said, Mike, I mean, really all there was some books at the library that you would go check out. And it was the early stages of message boards. So, I was back on WW Magic at the time. That was my home. Like, I was there all the time. So I was like researching all kinds of things on there. And my dad I went down. He had a wedding that they were photographing, and I was the second photographer for the wedding. And my dad somehow had accidentally got the dates wrong. So instead of going back on the day that we were supposed to go back, we actually were supposed to go back the next day. So we didn't have anything to do. So I convinced my dad, because again, this is when I was really starting to fall in love with, Walt Disney World again. I said, can we go to the Magic Kingdom? And so I convinced him. And so we went to the Magic Kingdom, and I had just a great day with my dad. It was just the two of us. And we went all around the Magic Kingdom, and just because we had an extra day. And so that means the world to me that, because my dad doesn't exactly love, Walt Disney World. He's much more of a Universal guy. And so the fact that I got to have that special time with my dad is now he's more of a Universal guy. So the fact that I get to have that private special time with my dad is just something that's so special to me. So.
The Rick and Ricky show.
Yeah, it really was. It really was. It was such a great day. I mean, tickets were so dirt cheap back then. I mean, I remember how much they were, and I was just like, I think they were like something like $70 for a one-day ticket. So we were like, okay. And, like back then that was a lot of money. And now I'm just like, I will gladly pay $70 for a one-day ticket to the Magic Kingdom.
I know, it's serious. When you look back at stuff like
that was like 2003, and I was like $70. Yeah, exactly. So
nuts.
you can't even get that for like like Scott was saying, you can't even pay that much for a special event for 3 hours at the Magic Kingdom now.
Heck no. There's no way. All right,
No.
I'm still going back to like your e-ride or e-ticket night or whatever that was called. Like that's like the cost of like a Mickey sandwich now.
That's the cost of a Mickey ice cream bar, $5. You get to ride everything.
Even back then, and this was I'm guessing this was probably, if I had to guess like the year, it was probably like 2004 or 5.
That's about right.
And even then,
because
like I felt like this was almost like I was robbing them, because I mean it was like $2 an hour. I mean, like, dude, you can't go roller skating for that. And I was at the Magic Kingdom for 3 hours. I was like, this is, I'm gonna get arrested. Like this is like felony theft. I'm like, this something's wrong.
The E-Ride nights existed before Extra Magic Hours.
Right.
And Extra Magic Hours rolled out in 2006. So 2005. Wait, 2005. Oh, now I'm losing my dates. But it was right around that time period. So,
by the way, this is not going to be a long story. I lament the loss of the ultimate park hopper ticket with Walt.
Me too.
Packages.
Yes.
I love that ticket, because since then I've never gone to water parks, and I missed Disney Quest for the record.
Yes.
Anyway.
And it was 2005. I'm going back in my head. It was 2005. Yeah.
And the reason for the Magic Your Way ticket is because then you don't pay for stuff that you don't need. Which
also was introduced in 2005. Yes.
Yeah, that's 2005. So you could say you don't want to go to Disney Quest, well, you don't have to buy it, because then you don't pay for it. But
that ticket was the best though, because
it was totally.
I haven't been to the water park since.
Same.
Yes.
Same. But I would go because it was included,
Exactly.
It's basically like a cruise,
it's
right?
How I went to Disney Quest, because I was 100%.
Because like I get on a cruise and like I've paid for all this stuff. So you know what? I'll do all kinds of stuff because I've already paid for it. I don't think about it.
Yeah.
And am I saving? Probably not now. But the thing is, like, I mean, okay, so I can buy just what I want, but I'd rather pay maybe 50 extra bucks and just have the world at my, just do whatever I want.
Right.
I'm an all-inclusive type guy. That's what I like. Just what's it going to cost? Don't rake me over the coals, but like, give me the all-inclusive thing and let's go have fun. Anyway, Scott, give us another story. What's special as we think about the 50th?
Oh man. So this might be like a little forecasting for a future Instagram post, but one thing I think that gets overlooked at Walt Disney World a lot. Like, you got the 4 theme parks, they're fabulous. You got Disney Springs, but like resort time, and maybe it's because I've gotten older over time, but like resort time is really important to me. Like, I just love spending time at the pool, hanging out with friends, having lunch, having some drinks around the pool. Like that's like vacation to me, right? And I'll never forget this one time, Mike. So we were together. We were all like at the Polynesian. We had breakfast at Ohana, and we really wanted to spend a pool day at the Polynesian. Yep. And me and Steve Forrester were like, it was taking forever to get the bill or something. Like, it was like the slowest meal ever, which we've had a lot at Ohana. Thinking back at it now.
Whenever I eat with you, that happens, especially also at Maya Grill. Like, we have the slow meals. But anyway,
so get ready for next Wednesday. For a slow meal.
Slow meal.
But so Steve and I are like worrying, like, man, the pool opens like in 20 minutes, like, and this meal is taking forever. So Steve and I agree. I think Hannah came with us. We're like, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna get the table. We're gonna get our chairs and all that, because we want to have this awesome pool day. So we get it set up. It was a great pool day. We're having all sorts of fun, and how always things roll when we're all together. We're like, hey, let's play some games. So we decided to play Yahtzee.
Yes,
and this is just fun. Like, you don't ever think of.
Let me just jump in here.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are saying, wait, you went to Walt Disney World and played Yahtzee.
Right.
And this is one of those things, like, you don't do this on your first trip or your second or your third trip. Honestly, this is one of my best ever days at Walt Disney World. So continue with the story, because I mean, I know this is weird, but this is kind of where the trips evolve into.
It is one of the best Disney days. Like, and you're right, this isn't like a third, second trip. Like, this is when you go multiple times, and like, and that's the thing. We talked about this on the podcast a lot. Like, we all live in different areas. We feel like a family, but we don't see each other enough. Like, our hub is Walt Disney World. So when we get together, we have like family moments where we play games poolside. That's what we do. So we're playing Yahtzee, we're having snacks, everyone's having fun, and we decide we're going to create a house rule. A house rule for Yahtzee is that if you get a Yahtzee, you have to do a belly flop in the pool. All right. Yeah. So we're like, no one's going to get Yahtzee, but let's just let's spice things up a little bit. We're playing, we're having a good time, and the perfect person gets Yahtzee. Steve gets a Yahtzee. And he gets up, he's like, all right, let's go. So everyone's, he's like ready to go. Like we're like, hold on, man, we gotta get phones, we gotta get video of this. Like he's running.
He was like out, like I mean, like bam, like 5'2", and he was like
Yeah.
out of his chair immediately. I'm like,
And
wait, whoa.
honestly, it was like 110 degrees, so I think he was excited to get
It's
in the
just
pool.
like, I
Let's
want to
be
get in
real.
the pool.
By the
So
way,
he's-
we also had a spread at the table. We had like cheese and crackers and fruit. I mean, we were doing it right.
We were
there.
ordering like Captain Cook. We had like a regular rotation order coming through from Captain Cook's with nachos and stuff.
Nice.
So Steve's running over to the pool. We're getting our phones and everything, and it's crowded. You know, it's middle of the summer. We're
Right.
like talking like 12 or 1 in the afternoon now. It's crowded, and there's a guy kind of blocking his way, and he has the best line I've ever heard of Walt Disney World. He's like, "Dude, can you move over a little bit? I just got Yahtzee." And the guy looks up at Steve like, "What?" He's like, "Belly flop, man. I gotta do a belly flop. I got Yahtzee." And the guy moves, and boom, Steve does the best belly flop I've ever seen. And we have video of it too, which is great.
That's amazing.
It's just
And
a
that will
great
have to be on
memory.
social media. We'll have to put that out because it was a perfect belly flop, to be honest. You see the guy sitting next to him, like, what is this guy? Oh, boom, right into the pool.
And then
Right.
the guy didn't even like laugh at it or anything. I think he just like went back to his family. Like, these people are nuts. But like,
Yeah, right. Look out! These people are on the Yahtzee like pro tour. Like they're swinging through Orlando at this point. They're stopping in Vero Beach next stop. Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
I can't like not be at that pool, or I can't almost be at any pool where we're like all together and we're playing games, having snacks. And every time that story comes up about Steve's belly flop, dude, I just got Yahtzee.
And he was, I
So
mean,
good.
we'll post a video somewhere. I mean, just a perfect like plank. Like he was, like
We have a video still where he's just like leaned over,
Yeah.
and it's like it's perfect.
I mean, I can't do it. Like, I mean, like my knees buckle when I try to do a perfect. I mean, he was like a 2x4, just boom. I mean,
Yeah.
just 10 out of 10 on the mechanics of the belly flop in the Polynesian pool. On that, anyway, nobody cares but us because we've seen it. So I'm just saying, but it was one of the greatest in the history. That pool's been there since '71. Probably a top 10 belly flop in the history of 50 years of that pool.
It's probably like out of 50 years of the Polynesian in that pool, it's probably one of the most epic moments that have happened.
Probably.
Oh,
I
God,
don't know.
there's
Yeah,
been epic
I'm sure
moments,
there's been some great history at that pool. Don't
I'm
get me
sure there
wrong.
has been.
For
yes.
the Be Our Guest podcast, though, I feel like that's got to be like a #1 Polynesian pool moment.
Yeah.
you should know this guy. Didn't the Beatles break up with the Polynesian or something? I mean,
John Lennon wrote he
did.
officially signed off the breakup for the Beatles.
It's true. At the Polynesian.
It's
Oh,
so
we're up.
heartbreaking for me because
It
I
is
love the
true.
Polynesian so much. But
I know,
I'm
and that's where the
I'm the
Beatles
biggest
broke
Beatles
up.
fan you'll ever meet. But yeah, John
Yeah.
Lennon broke the Beatles up at the Polynesian.
see there, Steve Forrester, belly flop, Beatles breakup. So
Yeah. Same vein right there.
Okay,
so-
Yeah.
here's one of my moments, and this is just one of those things that I think a lot of us can relate to, and it's not really one moment. Actually, it is, and this is inspired by the post that Scott put in his top 10. It was the one that he put out on Monday, as of the day we're recording, and it showed one of the greatest pictures that I have printed out, and I don't print out a lot of pictures, but I printed this one out years and years ago, and I had it hanging on my desk when I taught at school. And I used it for my desktop and for my smart board in my classroom. This was my big, like, it was like monster size, on my classroom wall. My kids always saw it every morning when they came in. And it was the day that I finished my first dopey challenge and Scott finished his first marathon at Walt Disney World. And the thing is, when you first go to Walt Disney World, it's about, and we all go through this evolution. It's like we were just talking about. First, it's about all the rides. And then eventually it's about kind of the rides and the restaurants. I think that's kind of how it works. And then after that, it's kind of about the rides, the restaurants, maybe the resorts, and you get to the swimming pools. And then maybe after that, it's, maybe tours and stuff like that. And I think for some of us, we've gone into other things. Like some people get into the Disney golf. Some of us get into the Run Disney stuff. And there's other things, there's the cheerleading events. There's all the stuff over at ESPN with soccer and stuff. And the thing is, Run Disney, for some of us, it's been something that has stuck around with us that I've said this a million times. I hated running. And really the only reason I run is because it gets me with my friends, and it encourages me. I don't want to let the team down. So I run to kind of keep up with everybody else. And it gets me to go down to Walt Disney World in November and January and the spring and here and there. And it's just become something that I hated to something that's a part of my life. And when I feel like I don't want to, run anymore. And, I know that I'm wearing my Bama shirt today as we record. And speaking of Forrest Gump, which nobody was speaking of him, but he, the Bama connection there, he got to that point of the movie where he just said, he stops running and he just says he was done running. At some point, I'm going to get to that point in my life. I'm just going to, one morning, someone's like, why didn't you post? I'm like, I just felt I was done. I'm just done running, and that's going to be it. I'm telling you, that's just how it's going to end for me. Just one Tuesday. There's going to be no post on Instagram. That's going to be it. And it's coming. It's going to come sooner than later. I can tell you, because my knees are getting bad. But anyway, back to the point. When I see pictures like Scott posted, and, you see these random pictures of race weekends, and, like I run a lot of races with Scott, and I've run them with Paige, and I've, Mallory, actually, I've run a few races with Mallory back in the day. And now she doesn't like to run anymore, but this is when she was little, the 5Ks. And I've run them with so many of our listeners, the lizards that are, on the squad. It's always, there's so many smiles. And even in the corrals and in the pre-race with Mike and all the folks, every time one of those pictures, and I think it's the greatest thing too about what Apple's done with like the memories. I don't know if you guys well, here's a big tip I'm just going to throw in there. With the widgets that you can now put on your iPhone, on your home screen, add the photos widget to your home screen, because what it'll do is, and I had the smart widget, which goes through just kind of a bunch of, popular things you're going to use that day, but I put it at the top, and it'll put like little movies of like, 10 or 15 pictures from some certain weekend, or, a trip or something. And it'll show like a marathon weekend from 7 years ago, and it'll play a little 15-second movie. And I just smile because like Scott's putting these pictures on Instagram. When I see, us goofing off, crossing the finish line together, like, dude, I finished a dopey. That is nuts. Like, I hate it. I can't believe I'm still alive. Like, you're finishing a marathon. Like, dude, we finished a marathon. Like, we had no business finishing a marathon. That is nuts. And here we are. We're just smiling. We're crossing the line with our margaritas in hand. One time we're with Dope or a Dale, Chippendale. We're with Dale. We probably shouldn't have been with the margarita. We got in kind of trouble. We didn't get in trouble. Dale did. I'm just like,
Dale's a great friend, though. Dale's a good
Dale
friend.
is a good friend. Yes.
No, we got a little trouble there. But I mean, but it's just like, and it's also the random pictures on the course, like with, like standing next. I remember like at the Animal Kingdom when Steve Harvey screwed up about announcing the wrong Miss America or something. Like somebody just had the perfect sign, or somebody had a sign like, okay, if you're eating breakfast, I apologize in advance. Like somebody had the perfect sign, like, don't trust a fart after mile 3. I mean, like, it cracks me up every time. Like, and I got pictures of like some random person that made this sign. And every time that shows up, I crack up. So
I look in line with you, Mike, on that first one though. So your first dopey, my first full, that is it. That's a top 10 Walt Disney World memory. That's a greatest hit. And I don't think I've ever told you this, but, in a way, because you did it the previous year, right? So you want to do, I kind of followed your track, right? Like you did the full marathon first. Like I'm not going to do dopey the first time. Like I just want to focus on the full. And then the next year you did the dopey. And then that was when I did my first full. I was like a year behind. And you'd done it before. And we, you asked me like the night before we're at Olivia's having dinner. I think Ricky was there, Brian, everyone was there. We sat there. Oh my God, that meal was awesome. Remember that? Like on the patio.
Awesome.
It was our servers like last night.
Yes.
At Olivia's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I think we recorded some podcast bits.
We did.
And we're doing that this weekend too, by the way, because I have.
You say that every time, Mike Roman.
Because I'm getting back on Monday. So anyway,
you say it every time.
So, but that night you asked, like, Scott, will you run the full with me? I'm like, are you cool with that? Like, yeah, I'd love to. I'm slower than you. Like, so I'm gonna hold you back. You're like, dude, my legs are already dead, man. Like that might actually be a benefit. But like, you coached me. Like, you don't even know. I don't think you even know this, but you really coached me through that whole race. Like, you're like, we got this coming up here, and like, all right, we're gonna hit this area. Like, this is gonna be a rough 2-mile stretch, because like you knew the course from the previous year, and like, it was just awesome, man. It felt like you were like a mentor and a coach for me out there, and I think that's really what helped me get it through. And it's one of the top 10 memories I've ever had at the World.
Well, I appreciate that, because man, I see you as like a brother. I never had a brother growing up, but just had a sister. So that means a ton to me. That's the whole thing about all this whole Walt Disney World thing. It's about the friends. I consider you family. I consider Ricky family, Pam. It's just one of those things that when you get to share something that's that special, because again, every time, like I'm running the Chicago Marathon in a couple of weeks, and I've told you this, Scott, I've texted you a billion times. I'm so nervous about this race. I don't even get nervous about the Disney races anymore, because I have like 100 friends down at those races. And I know it's Walt Disney World. I've been there, and I feel comfortable with how things work. Like maybe it's because I'm from St. Louis. I feel like I'm going behind enemy lines, and like, there's going to be no Disney there. Like, there's no magic getting me through 26.2 miles. It's like the hardened city. Like, sucker, you didn't make it, get on the L. I don't know how it's going to be. And I'm not there with my buddy, so that's why I'm so nervous. So I appreciate that. But again, this whole thing, Disney's added this Run Disney component that makes us a little bit healthier, but also stretches who we are to our, because I think it's important that as is like for me, both of us, like we're dads, right? And I think it's cool that both of us can tell our daughters that we're marathoners. I mean, how many dads can tell that to their, because I'm an old dude now.
And you ran one with, a daughter. I mean, you ran with Paige.
Yeah, I almost killed her. But
yeah, you did almost
and
kill
then
her.
my goal has always been like, I actually almost registered Emily for the Princess Half because she's age eligible now. I think you got to be 14 and she'll be 14 then. So like my goal is to train her up. Like I want to have that moment that you had with Paige. Hopefully, like we won't be yelling at each other as much.
I'm like, if we can swap, I'm gonna kill you, Paige.
And I know, I know you don't like to go deep into the Run Disney, but it is a part of Walt Disney World. It's part of Walt Disney World's history, and it's created so many great memories for me. Ricky too. Like I know she kind of kept quiet on this, but like I was super proud of Ricky. Like she just kind of rolled out of bed one day and did the Wine and Dine half marathon with like Jocelyn
so I've actually done two. So yes, I stupidly had just rolled out of bed for two half marathons. Yeah. The one was the Wine and Dine, which was the half of a.
That's why I wasn't counting that one because it was more like a 7 mile.
Yeah, that was like
sure. Yeah, I mean, we all got the medal.
That either, but I had a half marathon medal.
Yeah,
it was supposed to be a marathon. So but I had not trained. I did not do anything, and I was just like, sure, why not? Like let me try. I about died by the time I finished. Even though it was 7 miles, I was like, oh, thank gosh, this is done. But you're right. I am a half marathoner. I, again, did decide on a whim that I was going to be running because I had a friend who couldn't run. And so I was taking her place. But I trained for like maybe a month, never got to anywhere close to 13 miles on the training runs that I did. But I went out there and I mean, thank goodness for our team because I would never have made it without Jocelyn and Naomi and of course Florence. And you're right. I am a half marathoner because of that. Like
I was proud of you too.
Nobody can take that away
for you.
And it is a huge moment for me. I mean, I'm not going to run another half marathon, but like I've done it. I've officially done it and I'm good. So, but yeah, I mean, it is kind of cool.
You're supposed to, once you finish that line, you're supposed to get the runner's high and just sign up again.
No, I got the runners done. I'm done. I'm done, baby.
I need some of that. I will say that weekend, that race, that was that first half marathon or that first Wine and Dine that was during the day. We're going to wrap up the running talk. But I got to say a shout out. That was a special race for me because that
actually might have been Star Wars. I think it was a Star Wars race.
That was a Star Wars race. That was mine.
So here's the one I want to talk about though real quick was that first daytime Wine and Dine because I was sick and I almost didn't finish that race at about mile 8. I lost it. I was really, really sick. And Scott, were you there? Because I know it was Phil.
It was me and Phil. Me and Phil stopped.
You guys walked me in the rest of the race. You gave up your race so that I could make it to the finish. And you guys walked me all the way to I walked the rest of the way. And I would not have made I was bumming, man. This is when I was really sick. And I didn't know it quite yet. But oh my gosh, like that's just what it's all about though. Like it was buddies making sure that I didn't like get eaten by the buzzards back by the the trash compactor area. Well, because I remember it was back by the trash area. I was like, oh, what a place to get sick.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we do. You've done the same for me. Like I like sprained an ankle during a full marathon and you held back with me.
I said, just put some power freeze on that thing. Let's go.
There's a great photo of that race you were just talking about where you got sick during it and me and Phil got you there. We, because we know we always like to run when the photo passes are around, you know?
Totally.
So we're around Spaceship Earth. We're close to the race. And I was like, Mike, do you got it in you? Can we run for 10 seconds for this photo? He's like, oh yeah. We can do it. So like I remember posting that photo, like Mike got us to because you were like leading the pack, like you were right there in the center. And I was like, I posted on Instagram, like Mike got us to the line today, and you're like, that photo is the biggest lie I've ever seen. I'll send it to you after this, like because you wouldn't even think that you were sick. You're like, we just looked like we're professional. It was like an advertisement, basically.
I was like, I'm never going to see Missouri again. I remember thinking that. I was like, this is it. This is the end. This is how I go out. Anyway, Ricky, close us out because I don't want to go too long. This has been so fun. I love this because there's so many different ways you can love Walt Disney World, and I'm just so glad that we have a place like this that we can make so many dynamic memories with our friends.
I know. I have so many memories with you guys and, because, you are my surrogate family, all of you. So like, I mean, that part is so huge. But the last memory that I really want to talk about is with my real family again. And that is the trip that I took with my mom and my grandma and then my brother to Walt Disney World. It was right after my brother had moved down to Florida. He started working at Disney at the Jungle Cruise. And so my mom wanted to bring my grandma down to have her, it was her first trip. She was 94 years old, and it was her very first trip to Walt Disney World. So we brought her down to celebrate and to see my brother in his job, since this was like the first time he had moved away and everything like that. So it was a fantastic trip, getting to experience that with, something that's so special to me with my grandmother, is just so huge. But of course, the thing that is the thing that was like, I want to tell the funny story. The thing that was so funny is like, grandma really liked Bud Light. That was her thing. Like, she loved beer.
314. That's
she is. She
I
is.
feel bad. I'm from St. Louis, and I don't like Bud. I'm not a beer drinker, man. They want to kick me out of this town.
And she loved her Bud Light. And so we were at the Magic Kingdom at the time, and she's like, where can I get a beer? And we're like, Grandma, it's the Magic Kingdom. I can't, there's no beer here. And like the look of disappointment on her face.
Yeah. I mean, beer's like water in St. Louis. I'm just saying, it's like getting a bottle.
So huge. I know. It really is. So she was so disappointed. So like the next day we went to Epcot or something, and like the first thing we did was like get Grandma a beer, because we're like, okay, we've got to get you a beer. Like we've got to find Grandma Bud Light. So that was the first thing we did when we got to Epcot. And then the next day, I know we were at Disney Springs, and I have a great picture, by the way, of my grandma drinking a beer at Epcot. It's not like anything, like you would never know that that's where it was at, because it's literally her, and like you see the ground because she's sitting in a wheelchair, and because we had to push her through because she's 94, for goodness sake. And so she's just sitting there with her beer, and she's got this smile on her face, and she's so, well, for her, she didn't really smile, but you can tell how happy she is. And then I remember also like sitting there at the Marketplace Snacks, which I think is the margarita stand now or something like that. And again, she just wanted another beer. So like we went and we found another beer for her and got it, and she was just so happy. So the reason why this trip is so special, though, for anybody who hasn't been listening, for goodness knows, this was a long time ago. But my grandma passed away about a month after this trip. So she had a stroke like right after, and she passed. So this was really like her last hurrah, our last hurrah with her. So that's why this trip is so special. And if you want to hear my experience with it, it's definitely out there. I talked about it on a podcast, so you can just search Ricky and Grandma, and you could find the podcast episode. I don't remember which one it was, but it was a very touching and special trip for me, because, like I said, I got to take my grandma to the place that was so special to me. So like that was so huge. So
I'm inappropriately laughing because your mom is in the chat, and she just put in the comments, she made me go to the gift shop at Pop Century for a 6-pack of Bud Light.
That sounds like about right. Yeah.
That is so
well,
awesome.
no, it wouldn't have been Pop Century. It would have been All Stars, because we were staying at All Star Movies. So
that makes the story even better. That's slightly better.
Yes, I'm certain it wasn't at Pop Century because we weren't staying there, but we definitely were at All Star Movies. So I can guarantee that my grandma wanted my mom to go get a 6-pack of beer from All Star.
6-pack of Bud Light at any value resort just makes that story just.
Yes, exactly.
And I'm not dogging anybody. I stay at the value resorts, and I'm from St. Louis. That is just, that's how we roll.
Yes. 314. So, but I'll have to see if I can. I know I can. Mom will send me that picture if I ask for it, because I don't think I have it saved on this phone, but like I have it saved somewhere. So I'll have to post the picture of Grandma with her beer on my Instagram this week. So yeah, it was amazing. She was so happy.
These are all great stories. It's awesome. Like there's thousands of stories we did every day. There's like awesome memories, and like I'm looking forward to the memories we're gonna make today. I know there's going to be something hilarious that's going to happen today that we're going to be talking about for years.
Exactly. That's exactly right. Yes. The memories
that going to involve me and Mike like falling down or something.
I mean, 100%. You guys are going to roll around in the hub grass or something. I don't know.
Something like that. Yeah. Let's make it happen.
I think that sounds like a plan.
And then someone's going to step on me, and I'm going to like break a finger or something. Like, it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be me. I'm going to step on your finger. It's fine.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's really, we're so thankful to have a place like Walt Disney World where we can meet. I mean, because otherwise, think about it. Scott's in Lansing, Michigan. Never would have met Scott. He's like my brother. Ricky, we're in the same town. We would have never even crossed paths, really.
Never.
We were parents because we DJ'd. They shot pictures. I played the music. Wouldn't have really met Ricky. I mean, it's just one of those things, like it brings us together and we get to make these memories together. So we're so thankful to have Walt Disney World. But we hope to catch you this weekend, and we hope to share these stories for the next who knows? We're 13 years old. You know, we've been doing this for quite a while, and we're going to keep it trucking right along. So follow the coverage again. Follow the hashtag but hashtag BOGP50 and hashtag all your photos that you're taking as well. And we'll have the coverage there on Instagram, especially, but also on Twitter. I'm at BRGuestMike. Ricky's at Ricky Nibs. Scott's at EpScott. So follow over there as well. Don't forget, today's show brought to you by the Magic for Less Travel. Check them out for all your Disney trip planning needs over at themagicforless.com. Please use our Amazon affiliate link when you shop online. It really helps us out over at brguestpodcast.com/Amazon. And a sincere thank you to our patrons for allowing us to put these shows out and hopefully put a smile on your face a few times a week and share some memories. We appreciate your support so very much. You also get Mike in the Midwest every Thursday. So if you'd like to get in on that, just visit patreon.com/Be Our Guest Podcast. Again, no live show this Sunday night because we're down at Walt Disney World. But we'll be back in 3 weeks because I'll be at the Chicago Marathon next Sunday. I know we're taking a little break there, but we'll be back.
What? You think that's okay? I'm just teasing you. That's fine.
Well, I mean, it ended up being like the Scotty G show for like 5 minutes yesterday because you lost internet and it was just me.
No.
So I got to answer a bunch of questions in the chat. So that was fun.
That's fun.
You should just, yeah. And then Kevin emailed me like, was it something? I said, no, it was like, Kevin, dude, my internet, everybody was yelling. Like Mallory's, streaming TV went out upstairs. She's yelling. Pam's trying to plan lesson. She's yelling. You know, it is like, I mean, the internet goes out nowadays for like 30 seconds.
And
like,
everybody's done. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I was freaking out because I'm doing a live show on the internet.
Well, yeah.
I was freaking out more than anybody, but everybody was losing it. So I'm just saying, it wasn't Kevin. Kevin,
I wasn't freaking out. I was having fun.
You're like, I got the show. I'm taking over. You're like, so if you're down there, we'll see you very soon. So come up and say hi to us. But if you're at home, we hope you enjoy the coverage. We'll do the best we can to bring you all the fun and activities from Walt Disney World. So for Ricky and Scott, I'm Mike. Wishing you a great weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you real soon. Good show. That was fun. That was really good. That was cool.
That was good.
My brother is on his way to go see Happily Ever After tonight.
The show's still playing?
Yeah, he sent me this video of him driving. Oh, hold on. You guys can't see it.
I can't see it. Oh, you have like a light on you. I wondered why you were like so light.
I'm bright. Yeah, I have a light. Here, wait. Hold on. I'll show you the video again. It's pretty. The sunset's gorgeous tonight. Oh, there we go. See, I'm dark now.
I have two of them.
Oh, no. There you go.
I see him driving. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh,
he's
it's pretty.
entering the gate.
Yeah, he is. It's a really pretty sunset tonight. So.
All right. Well, guys, go get some dinner, and I will see you in a couple days.
All right. I'll see you in
I got a half a day of work left.
I know. I got a day and a half. Yeah, I got a day and a half of work.
I decided to take a half day tomorrow so I can play golf.
Nice.
You're killing me.
I'm so stupid.
That's so stupid.
I never take every personal day I ever take is for a Walt Disney World or Disneyland.
Same.
Disney vacation.
I told that to Pam. I don't think I've ever taken a day off where I'm not at Walt Disney World.
I mean, I'm not on a trip somewhere.
It's the only time I ever take a day off. So it's weird that I'm actually gonna like take some time off and play golf.
Nice.
But I had like a random half day. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna use this half day and play golf. So
nice.
Good idea. Awesome. All right. Well,
I'll try to get my grub on.
All right. We'll see you guys.